The free nationwide vaccination campaign against poliomyelitis was first launched across Cameroon in January 2014. 8 months after, 7 rounds have been carried out, leading to the immunization of 95% of children below 5 years of age. Impressive statistics which health officials say is thanks to the door-to-door vaccination strategy implemented throughout the campaign.
Yes, the door-to-door strategy has gone a long way now in Cameroon. All the NIDs that we have been carrying out is we are using the door-to-door strategy. It's not the specificity of Cameroon. Wherever they do NIDs, especially for polio, they do the door-to-door strategy. This is due to the fact that polio vaccine is an oral vaccine. That is, you don't have dangerous waste like needles or syringes that you have to carry along. You just have your droppers that you take. So it is not dangerous to carry out such an activity from door to door. And also, since we want to meet 100% coverage rates, we want the vaccine to get to the child where the child is. That is, we want the parents to produce little effort to make their child, to have their children vaccinated. So the vaccinators and the health staff go towards the parents and meet the child where the child is. We vaccinate, we go in houses, and even if we are granted the possibility, we go in rooms to vaccinate children. And it prevents parents to be forced to carry the children to the vaccination center. At times they may get discouraged and they may not even come. And we know polio is a very dangerous disease. So if we really want to stop the spread of the virus in our country, we need to find the child where they are. And that is why the door-to-door strategy is the most effective.
Introduced into the country back in 2008 by the World Health Organization, the door-to-door vaccination strategy has involved the training of thousands of volunteers to assist the limited number of health personnel in sensitizing the population and administering vaccines.
The vaccinators, you have health staff, you also have community health workers who have been working with us for a long while now, and all this personnel is trained ahead of each round of campaign. So there is a training session, first for their supervisors, then for the vaccinators themselves, and they meet together, and an experienced health staff will train them on how to carry out the vaccination campaign. So before they go to the field, they are always trained. For newcomers, they are trained for the first time. For the others, they rehearse what they have been doing. And if there are new instructions on how to carry out the activity in the field, this instruction is being passed to them. The vaccinators have their vaccine carriers with the ice pack to make sure that the vaccine is kept in cold and that it will reach the child with all the efficacy that is needed. So there is no worry about that. And furthermore, we have team supervisors who are in charge to look into the cold box and make sure that the vaccines that are being used by the vaccinators are of good quality. So there is no worry as far as the quality of the vaccine is concerned, because all the measures are being taken to make sure that from the regional cold chamber to the child, the vaccine is preserved in very good condition.
Traditional rulers, quarterheads, religious authorities and the media have equally been active in intensifying communication around the campaign and ensuring the security of the mobile vaccination teams.
First, we use social networks, for example, to send the message to all our friends, and we encourage them to share with other friends. That's one aspect for online communication. We also have radio, TV, and press communication. Ahead of the campaign, we always hold a press briefing. All our pair partners from media are invited. They come and cover the event, and they broadcast the message concerning the immunization campaign. We also have staffs who go in radios and television stations to communicate and direct to the population to tell them what the campaign is about, the target population, who is to be immunized, and where the vaccine can be got for the children. So these are the main strategies, but also, we also have the field strategy. We use mobilizers, a large number of mobilizers who go door to door to sensitize parents on the immunization campaign. They discuss with them if they have some worries, they give them the explanation to reassure them and to make sure when the vaccination team come, they accept their children to be immunized. And with the stakeholder meeting, we get the local authority involved. So all these activities contribute in good communication around the campaign, and we think it is a key factor for the success of NIDs.
Though very fruitful, the door-to-door vaccination strategy has known its own share of setbacks. In a densely populated place like the littoral region, up to 7% of children were declared unreached after the 7th round of the campaign. Health officials advanced absenteeism from home as the main reason for this.
Well, the first reason, still from field survey, is that is the movement of population. You know, you cannot stop population, people to travel, to go to their to various manifestations, or especially in this period of holidays, to go for holidays. So most of those who were not reached were not because they were not in their houses, they were not in their premises when the vaccination teams passed, especially as the main strategy for the vaccination campaign is the door-to-door strategies. So most of the missed children, that is about 43% of missed children, were missed because they were not around when the vaccination teams were moving around from door to door. And the main reason for not being in is that they traveled. And that is one of the challenges we have to face for coming campaigns.
Even more disturbing is the fact that some parents outrightly shut their doors to the vaccinators because of religious or cultural beliefs. The most outstanding case of refusal was recorded in Bafoussam, chief town of the West region, during the 4th round of the campaign in April 2014, when a Pentecostal pastor claimed that all the children in his church had already been immunized by the blood of Jesus.
On vaccine les enfants, on ne les vaccine pas.
J'ai dit qu'ils sont vaccinés par le sang de Jésus-Christ. Ils sont préservés de ces choses-là.
When attempts to make the pastor see reason with the local health officials failed, the forces of law and order were summoned, and the children had to be forcefully vaccinated.
Ouvre. Avant. Avant. Avant.
The forceful vaccination was widely criticized, but the health officials did not stop there. They continually visited the man of God until he was successfully convinced that vaccination does not desecrate the body, but rather protects it. He later on opened his doors for subsequent rounds of the campaign. In other zones like the East region, the door-to-door vaccination strategy has been greatly challenged by the overspill of violence from the neighboring Central African Republic. The long-lasting tension between the Seleka rebels and the Cameroonian army has made it difficult for people to trust one another, and many find it difficult to open their doors, even to the community vaccinators. A similar situation is witnessed in the North and Far North regions, where Boko Haram militants from northern Nigeria sow panic with their frequent raids on border villages. In situations like this, the forces of law and order accompany vaccinators in their door-to-door assignments, but this is very scary to most inhabitants. The massive influx of Nigerian and Central African refugees into Cameroon since December 2013 has equally been a huge handicap to the door-to-door vaccination strategy, as these refugees are constantly on the move, making it difficult for vaccinators to track them down. Notwithstanding, Cameroon seems to be on the track of polio eradication. No new case of the disease has been diagnosed for the past 4 months. The government is thus encouraging more volunteers to join the nationwide campaign and plans to multiply the national immunization days against poliomyelitis until the disease is completely ruled out as a public health threat.
For now, we cannot say we have escaped polio. That's why we have to go on with NIDs, National Immunization Day. The message we want to pass is we want to tell all the parents that polio is a very, very dangerous disease that paralyzes the children and make them lose some of their potential for their lifetime. And it is very important to have the child protected. And the best way of protecting the children from polio is to get them immunized. It is the most economic, the most effective way to prevent polio. But they also have to implement hygiene rules. That is to wash hands after going to toilets, after shaking hands with somebody before eating. They should make sure the hands are clean, and they should use soap and clean water to wash their hands or their plates, because polio is being transmitted from fecal material that contaminates our food or the fluid that we consume. So hygiene, but mainly immunization for preventing polio. Now the other message is to everybody, because the disease does not only affect children, it can also affect adults, and the children is our concern for all of us. It's not only the parents that are concerned with the welfare of the children. All of us should be concerned. So if you are well educated, if you are aware of the situation, if you know much about polio, why not sensitizing your neighbors? Why not talk about with your colleagues, with your association, in all the meetings that you can hold, and you are part of the meeting, you can sensitize the other to raise a global awareness about the issue, and to encourage people to go towards the vaccinators and to get their children immunized. We also want to invite all the media, be the online media, radio, TVs, paper media. We want to invite everybody to get involved into this fight against polio, so that at the end we make sure all our children are immunized and protected against this wild polio virus. And we join the global effort of eradicating the polio virus from out of the world, and to make sure we have a world free of polio. That is the final objective we want to meet, and the deadline has been fixed for the year 2018. We want to believe that Cameroon will be part of the country who will meet this objective, and finally will have a world free of polio.
The current polio outbreak in Cameroon can be traced back to October 2013, when 2 cases of the wild polio virus were discovered in the west region of the country. Since then, a total of 7 children have been diagnosed of this viral disease, which assaults the central nervous system, often leading to paralysis. For poliomyelitis to be completely wiped out, the population needs to lead healthy lifestyles. That is, live in clean environments, avoid defecating in open air, wash hands with soap after using the toilet or before and after meals, wash fruits properly before eating, avoid eating raw or undercooked food, and above all, vaccinate children against polio. Immunization has so far been confirmed as the cheapest and surest means of preventing the disease, as just 3 drops of the oral polio vaccine is capable of protecting a child from the polio virus for at least 10 years.
n'ai pas envoyé. Là, tout fait le programme là. Il se calme. Le plus important, c'est... Voilà, elle a dit l'essentiel. On fait les gros gros